Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm John.
Welcome back to our series on the 2024 zoning amendments, the series that will guide you through the decisions you'll be asked to make on March 12th.
In this video, we'll examine zoning amendment number 3 concerning dimensional requirements by reading the ballot text, describing the reasons for the amendment, and then explaining a bit more about what the amendment would change if approved.
Amendment 3, Dimensional Requirements. Are you in favor of zoning amendment number 3 as proposed by the Planning Board to amend the Plymouth zoning ordinance as follows? Amend Article 3, Section 304 to change the dimensional standard table to reduce the minimum required road frontage for a lot in the SFR and MFR where offsite sewer is present from 100 feet to 75 feet, and reduce minimum setbacks in those zones, which would also allow for the option of using front setbacks based on the average of surrounding residential lots within 300 feet, but not less than 5 feet or 10 feet respectively. Add a separate setback table for uncovered parking spaces and reduce the minimum parking setbacks in some districts and allow parking as close as 5 feet by special exception. Change minimum lot sizes to a consistent unit of measure and replace the lot area per multi-unit building table with a consistent requirement for additional square footage per unit over 1. Differentiated by district, where offsite water and sewer is available, reduce minimum lot size in SFR to 10,000 square feet and MFR to 7,500 square feet. Remove dimensional reference to cluster residential development and add footnote to refer to the Plymouth subdivision regulations and simplify lot size requirements by replacing 1 acre with 40,000 square feet and half an acre with 20,000 square feet in all cases aside from lots served by on-site well and septic.
Wow, Matt, that's a lot to unpack. This amendment describes the dimensional requirements needed for various types of dwellings. These requirements are separated out for each zone because we have different expectations for the character and type of developments allowed in each zone. What are dimensional requirements? These include the sizes of such things as lots and how far buildings are set back from the street or from other lots. Generally speaking, it is good practice to encourage smaller lot sizes where new construction will benefit from existing water and/or sewer lines, easier to develop terrain, or where the community would prefer to see, for a variety of reasons, denser development. Smaller buildings and smaller lots have the added benefits of requiring less infrastructural build-out and encouraging greater affordability.
One of our goals in this amendment is to bring much of our historic residential neighborhoods near downtown back into conformity and to encourage these historical patterns of development that have helped shape some of our cherished residential neighborhoods. To that end, we have reduced setbacks and lot sizes in the single and multifamily residential zones along the aforementioned utilities. For example, with these utilities, one could build a house on a 10,000 square foot lot in the single family residential neighborhood and do so with 15-foot setbacks and potentially even smaller to match neighboring properties in cases where the house had a smaller setback. This would mean that many of the lots in those neighborhoods would again match what is written in our zoning ordinance, and we would enable the development of more housing following this historic building pattern. To be absolutely clear, under our current zoning ordinance, many of these neighborhoods could not be built or individual lots potentially rebuilt. In many cases, it's not even close.
I encourage you to take a walk around some of our historic neighborhoods in town and observe how far houses are set back from the street or from property lines, and look at the placement of driveways. While it can sometimes be important to recognize and correct mistakes of the past, in this case, we came to the conclusion, through a good deal of research and community outreach, that there is a lot to gain by reestablishing those patterns. The dimensional tables are complex, and there are a lot of numbers to explore, far too many in fact, to start listing every change in this video. What you should note, though, is that we have moved away from the confusing practice of mixing square footage with acres in favor of a single unit of measurement. We hope this will avoid some confusion. We also hope to encourage parking alongside new houses by reducing some of our setback requirements. All in all, we have attempted to make development easier with fewer restrictions, all the while maintaining the regulations necessary to protect the character of our different neighborhoods and districts.
Thank you, John. And thank you for tuning in on the proposed zoning amendment 2024 for amendment number 3. We look forward to seeing you at the voting booth on March 12th.